My method for drawing portraits is a step-by-step process. I start by sketching the rough outline of the subject's overall form within the composition. This includes the general shape of the head and its placement on the page. Once the basic outline is established, I move on to drawing the structural lines that define the major forms of the face, especially the contours of the cheeks and the hairline. It's important to ensure that the shape of the face is accurate and closely resembles the model, as this is the foundation of the portrait. Then, using simple guidelines such as the brow line, the bottom of the nose, and the mouth line mark the approximate positions of the facial features. These lines help me determine the relative placement of each feature on the face. At this point, I begin to refine the individual features. My habit is to start with the eyebrows, then move on to the eyes, followed by the nose, and finally the mouth. When drawing each feature, it's important to keep in mind the overall balance of the face. For example, when drawing one eye, I make sure to observe it in relation to the rest of the face, considering its size, shape, and positioning. Even if a single feature like the eye is well executed, if its relationship to the rest of the features is incorrect, the portrait will still not feel accurate once the basic shapes of the facial features are established. I move on to drawing the hair. This time, the model's hairstyle is quite complex, so I start by simplifying the hair into large sections. This allows me to better understand the overall structure of the hair before diving into the finer details. After sketching the basic shapes of the features and the hair, I proceed to add more detail. I still start with the eyebrows and eyes, gradually refining the features. Throughout the entire process, I maintain a constant awareness of the overall balance of the portrait. Each detail should never exist in isolation. It must serve the entire composition of the portrait. To capture the vitality of the portrait, I use a variety of line thicknesses and pencil shading to define each feature. I also rely on personal intuition to stylize and adjust certain elements to enhance the overall composition. There is no need to copy the model exactly, there's always room for personal interpretation, and I believe this brings more life to the drawing. In addition to the pencil, I also use tools like the eraser and blending stump. The eraser isn't just for corrections. It can be used creatively to lift highlights or add texture. The blending stump helps soften transitions between tones, then gives more subtle variations to the drawing. These tools help me achieve a more dynamic and engaging final result.